Hello, I'm Brandon Peachin, the owner of Mountain Lacrosse Network, and welcome to Sideline Sessions, where our guest today on episode 4 is Jordan Trejo. She is the head coach of the women's BSU lacrosse team. And let's welcome Jordan to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, welcome. I'm excited to have you here. We met last season, did a little streaming for your team. And this is the first time I was around a women's lacrosse team or any women's sports. I have one son, so I'm around plenty of boys sports.
Yeah.
That team cheered so loud. I had ringing in my ears. I was just like, this is unbelievable, the support these ladies had for each other. So thanks for making time. We got you a little t-shirt here for being a guest. On the back of the shirt, each guest gets a number that represents their episode. So episode 4, our fourth guest. I want to talk about this athletic resume. So we had 2 previous coaches, substantial playing backgrounds. This thing is a complete flex on those guys. I just want to say, well, we're going to tell. Those 2 are very accomplished athletes, but this thing is substantially more. And it's exciting to see. So you're originally from Utah, moved to Virginia with your family. Both your parents were big lacrosse people.
They were.
Yeah. And then, so you moved to Virginia, just Charlottesville, just out by University of Virginia.
Yep.
And then that's when you just decided to play every position on every team all at once, all by yourself. Because there you were Virginia AA Female Athlete of the Year in 2010.
Yeah.
And then the WHS Female Athlete of the Year, same year. Scrimmage Play Athlete of the Year, same year. U.S. Lacrosse All-American Honorable Mention in 2009. And All-American First Team in 2010. We're not done there yet. So first year MVP in 2010 in lacrosse, 2010 and 2008 indoor track MVP.
Yeah.
Rookie of the Year for 2007 indoor track. Won state, completed in the Virginia National, or competed on the Virginia National team in 2009. Lacrosse All District, All Region honors for all 4 years. And then still field hockey. Team won state in 2009, assisted the winning goal.
I did.
I love that you did that. Mention that.
Yeah, it was in overtime. It was a big deal.
Yeah, reminding them,
yes.
Hey, just so you know, who fed you here. And then Crack went on to national meet, indoor and outdoor, 2009 and 2010. Held the WAHS school record for 4x800. State, regional, and district champion in multiple relay events. All that equals out. Mm-hmm. I got to take a breath here. 14 varsity letters and 5-time captain.
Yeah.
Did you leave any meat on the bone for anybody else?
We had some good teammates that helped for sure. But
absolutely. Okay, so that was high school. We go off to college. During that period, you ended up at BYU.
I did.
Did you look at some other schools along the way?
Yeah, so I went through a recruiting process being like the oldest kid. And even though we were super close to UVA, the schools that I attended in my district were kind of smaller. And so there weren't a ton of people ahead of me that had done the recruiting process. I kind of felt like we were figuring it out ourselves. Ended up with a short list looking at a couple schools that I was really interested in. Probably the most pertinent is I really liked Notre Dame, felt like I had a great relationship with them. They said that I was number 6 in their recruiting class, and then they took 4. So I held on hope for a little bit that maybe 1 or 2 girls will decide to go to a different school. This will still fit. There was a guy who had played for my dad at my high school that was at Notre Dame, so felt the connection, and it just didn't pan out, which I don't think it was meant to be. But yeah, sometimes that's still tough.
Yep, absolutely. And everybody nowadays, they teach that list, right? So what's a reach? What can you, where you think you can be at, maybe a little high. And then what's absolute? Where do you know you can go? And I think helps prepare kids maybe a little more today than maybe years ago. Yeah. So awesome. Thanks for sharing that. So then you end up at BYU.
Yes.
And there, we're still continuing this resume. 2-year captain. Completed in the national tournament twice, finishing 3rd in the country. named National All-Tournament Team, Rookie of the Year in 2011, and a Most Valuable Midfielder for 2012, 13, and 14. And I think I missed one, 2012, 13, and 14 on that. So you continued your dominance on the field, and then now graduate out. What'd you graduate with? Degree? Okay.
In PE teaching and coaching, actually.
Awesome.
So,
Perfect.
no, for sure that I would use it, but here I am.
Okay. And then how'd you get to Boise?
Yeah, that's a great question. So my husband and I met at BYU. We got married the fall of my senior season. And then he is from Texas. And so we went to Texas for him to do dental school. In-state tuition was important with that amount of debt. We lived in San Antonio where there was no lacrosse, which was like the first time I had ever been somewhere without lacrosse. We were there for about 4 years. And his senior year of dental school, my sister was playing for BYU and came and did the national tournament, was in Round Rock. So we drove up and watched her play. And I was like, I gotta get back in. Like, I miss it too much. And he even said, like, we walked off the field the first day before they even finished playing. And he was like, I feel like part of you's back. Like, part of you was missing and we didn't know. But he went on to do a residency at the University of Utah. And so luckily I was like, oh, this is close enough to BYU. I have friends, teammates, my sister. So I went and coached there. From there, we met so many cool people, both in dental school and in residency, that were from Idaho. We liked a lot of Utah, but it's hard. Dentistry is a hard profession to go into in Utah. So I said, what's similar? What's still driving distance for all of our family here? And Boise was the answer.
Okay. So you come up.
Yep.
Start making some roots here.
Yeah.
And then how'd you get linked up with the Boise State women's team then?
So we moved up in 2019. I had just had my third daughter and was just trying to get my feet under me. Then COVID hit and stopped everything.
Yeah.
Luckily, one of my teammates I had coached with at BYU is from Eagle. And so she happened to move up close to the same time. She called me, I want to say April of 2020, and I was like, BSU needs a coach. I was like, you're kidding. She said, I want to do it, but I want you to do it with me. I said, done, sign me up. Didn't even check with my husband, didn't. Like, we're going to make this work. So we started coaching together. Let's see. I think spring of 21. I don't think they let us start practicing until January of 21. And the rest is history.
Awesome. And then when did you switch over from assistant to head coach?
Last year was my first year as head coach. So we're starting second year.
Okay. And then I think I left off a little bit, but since you've been there at Boise State, you and your friend took the program to nationals for the first time in program history.
Yes. And
then where you finish, you continuously finish at a higher ranking at the end of the year, from 6th to 5th to 4th to 3rd. And in 2023, the WCLA D2 National Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
And 2-time regional champs.
Yes.
So I'm excited for this because you're joining a new league.
Yeah.
I was trying to do some research on that. Yeah. But taking this and hitting the ground running in this new league, be able to make a name for yourself.
The goal.
Absolutely. I have zero doubt in my mind that that's going to happen. Any reason on a big change or tell me a little bit?
It was, we debated both the board, because we run lots of decisions. We make the decisions together. It's their team as much as it is mine. So we talked a lot about the pros and cons. What we felt like is those years that we finished 6th and 5th, even 4th, there were teams that were really competitive with us that we saw making the switch to WCLO. And so these teams that we were so excited to play and felt like really challenged us in this postseason were no longer as available for us to play. And so we loved our experience with the WCLA. They're great and supportive. What it came down to is really that it feels like a higher competition level for us, hopefully all season long, which in my opinion is how you grow, right? It's how you make the team better.
Yep, absolutely. I was trying to look at the teams that are going to be in your area. The map's out of date.
Yes.
Doesn't have the West Coast folks on there yet. So do you know a couple of the teams that we're keeping some rivals, hopefully, that we've been working on?
I hope so. I hope we'll still get to play against them. Scheduling's always kind of a toss-up. the club level, field availability is always tricky, and then travel resources are not quite what you ever want them to be. But we hopefully will be able to still play Montana State. They're probably our closest competition. They edged us out in the semifinals at nationals last year in a heartbreaking loss.
Yeah.
But we just have a great relationship with them. They're probably who I would hope to still be able to play. Air Force is also part of the WCLO as an independent team. We're hoping that the area will grow and more teams will join with us so that we can
Yeah.
create a whole region out here, but one step at a time.
Absolutely. You touched on a little bit earlier about the women's program.
Yeah.
Is ran by, I would assume it's very similar to the
Mhm.
men's team, where it's player ran and operated and managed.
Yes.
And then those players actually hire the coach.
Right.
So you work in theory for the players.
I do.
Yeah. Tell me about that and the opportunities that creates for those players.
Yeah. So Boise State has student-run clubs, so it's a student-run club team. They are kind of the go-between administratively between us and the school. It has been an awesome leadership opportunity to watch these girls step up into these roles. We very deliberately tried to make sure their roles as board members, and then sometimes it's the same players, sometimes it's different players that are captains for us. And so the team leadership can be the same people, but it doesn't necessarily have to be the same people on the field versus off the field and organization wise. So I feel like it's given me a closer relationship with these girls that have been in these board positions in particular, that we have to work closely together to schedule things, to get things together, to watch them grow and learn how to handle these meetings or the finances or the things that come with running a club team and organization. They do all of our travel planning. I'll sometimes consult on like, oh, I know the area, that hotel isn't super close, or
Right.
we've been back east once or twice, and I'm like, hey, let's look into this airport. It might be a little bit cheaper, even if we have to drive longer. But
Sure.
I'm really just a consultant, and they make the decisions. And it's really cool to watch them. College is such like a unique time in their growing where they are adults, but like I joke that they're baby adults.
Yep. No,
We're still
they're working their
developing.
way into it.
Yeah, it's this awesome opportunity. They're away from home for the first time. There's big decisions to make, and they have stepped up to the challenge every time.
That's great. Anything in particular when it comes to that system where you try to focus on in particular, like finding their voice or stepping up in front of a crowd, like I as a leader in my normal job, pushing those people forward, like those are great ideas.
Yeah.
Own those ideas, say them, right? It's going to be okay.
Yeah.
And the more we step up in front of folks, the easier it gets and the better we're at telling our story or sharing our ideas, right? So,
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about how that you see that growth or that opportunity. Once again, and I know you touched on it, but I think we need to hear it more. Yeah.
Yeah. Each president or board member we've had, they come with their own personality, right? They
Sure.
all have different strengths and weaknesses. So as a coach, I feel like it's my job to really pull out those strengths and say, let's use these and let's see how this can shape our team this year.
Yeah.
Whether that's that they lead with their actions more than their words. Sometimes that's the case. Sometimes they just need some help coming out of their shell. They need a boost of like, hey, I believe in you. I know you can do this.
Right.
Why don't you try it? And so that you can build that own belief in yourself. Funny enough, this year we don't have any seniors on our team. So I have a couple juniors that are taking up some big roles that they maybe would not have had to in a different situation. And so they, even just like leading the cheers, they'll like look at me like, Coach, what do I do? I'm like, no, you got it. You can do the cheer. They'll follow you.
Yeah.
Everybody believes in you. And so making sure that they really know that I'm behind them, that I believe in them as much, if not more than they do, is important to me.
That's great. And I agree.
Yeah.
Because they just need to know that someone's got their back.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's see. So I got culture is what you're talking about.
Yeah.
A big part of that is any successful program. And I know you're talking about leadership, player development. What else as a head coach that you find is important for building a successful program, talking about the culture itself?
Yeah. So I am a big believer in it comes down, I'm raising more than just lacrosse players, right? Like they're whole people. And so making sure that we're checking in and that they're aware of each other, both on the field, off the field, outside of practice, at school. we do weekly check-ins where I check in like, hey, how's school going? How are you feeling about life in general?
Mhm.
How are you feeling about practice? Do you have feedback for me? Like, do you need something more that we're not giving you? And then I ask them to share a compliment for a teammate
Oh, nice.
and make sure that they send it to them so that they're building each other up. Um, that's something new that we started last year, and I think it was really helpful. The other thing is, I think sometimes they get sick of hearing my voice. They wouldn't say that,
Yeah.
but sometimes they hear so much from me that I
Mhm.
have tried really hard to outsource things that I feel like I may not be the biggest expert on. So I've done performance or done training on mental performance and all of
Awesome.
that, but so that I have that in my tool belt. But I also think that there's people that have more experience with it. So we're bringing in a mental performance coach this year,
That's great.
hopefully to help them form this team identity and this team
Mhm.
culture. It changes every year, which is part of the fun and part of
Yeah.
the chaos.
Right.
So we're still finding our feet this season a little bit. We're just starting in the fall, and I have no doubt we'll find it. And it's great to see.
I that sounds great. I love that you're bringing in a coach to help
Yeah.
coach players, and I agree that they do get tired of hearing. Like when
Yeah.
I've coached over the years, they're like, "All right, coach, I get it. We hear you."
Yeah.
And that's where maybe you get a better relationship sometimes with the individual players, and you're like, "Hey, they still need to hear it."
Yes.
I totally agree
Yeah.
from you. And
Yeah.
then even as a parent, right, you can say whatever you want.
Right.
And the kid's like, "Okay, sure, Dad."
Yeah.
But as soon as someone else says it,
People are like, oh my gosh, that person told me this.
what a
You're like,
revelation! Oh wow! If only I would have known this before.
yes.
So yeah, I totally agree,
Yeah.
and that's an awesome opportunity that you're creating there for investment into these players.
Yeah.
I love it, and I'm excited you're doing it because I haven't
Yeah.
heard others do that yet.
Uh,
Uh,
Hopefully we're paving the way in a positive way.
absolutely, I think you are. So, I
We
guess at the
do. Sorry.
no,
We
please.
do also culture wise, I'm trying really hard to do like team meetings where we'll talk about like what does we played a fall tournament last year and played really well and we pulled them into a huddle and I said, that's what I want Bronco Lacrosse to look like. And it didn't mean like I didn't have the forethought to think,
Hmm.
oh, I'm going to say this speech or whatever. My brain doesn't work that way.
Hmm.
But we talked about it at a team meeting. We said, what does Bronco Lacrosse look like? What does it look like on the field? What does it look like at practice? And like really digging into the specifics of like, hey, you have to miss practice, or like, how do you stay accountable to your teammates? How do we make sure that we have this accountability for each other and make sure that we're this program that is building this legacy of what people want to be a part of?
Absolutely.
And then we also, one of the things I'm really big on in order to help grow the sport in general in the area is making sure that we're positive, that we are a team that people want to be around. So I've been a part of teams or been around, played against teams where they're chirping at the refs the whole time, or you can hear the parents on the sideline or girls coming after each other. And to me, that's not what our sport's about. That our sport could not exist if
Hmm.
refs were not willing to be there. And if we're making their
Yeah.
job harder or making it miserable for them to be on our field, then we're going to run out of
Yeah.
refs. Which we love our college refs that we have here, but we already have a limited selection of ones that are trained at the college level. And so
Right.
making sure that we have a good relationship, that we're known, which we actually last year at Nationals got call it the Keeper of the Game Award from the WCLA, which was the sportsmanship award that teams around us, every team that had played us went and told, hey, we love playing them. That was great. So more than the wins are great, but
Yeah.
that to me is something that's lasting.
Right. Yeah.
So
Absolutely. And that's a great award. I don't know why that's not on here.
I should have added it.
It's a
That's my
shared
fault.
award.
I missed
Shared
it.
award. But it's incredible, right? That
Yeah.
that's happening. And I've seen the opposite recently. Back huge Division II semifinal game, one goal difference,
Yeah.
coming down fourth quarter, and the team that we were with, the parents were just ravenous
No.
on the refs, and I was like, "What are we doing?
Yeah.
Like, why do we want them upset on such a critical point in the game? Like,
Right.
this is the time to back off, if anything, right? Let
Yeah.
let someone else screw it up.
Mhm.
Let's not sway the calls against us here.
Right.
And then in the end, like it's not about them,
No.
right? So let the kids play.
Right.
Let them have a great time. Let
Right.
them make the mistakes,
Right.
and then celebrate all those wins.
Yeah.
So on and off the field. So great job.
Thank you.
Um, what's unique about women's lacrosse and how it's especially with let's do with about women's lacrosse, and then we'll get into the Boise State program specifically. Uh, that maybe compared to your previous playing experience, and how does that work into managing? Because we are club, so the time is a little different.
Yes.
Time commitment, right? So we maximize the time on the field or togetherness. But I guess I'm asking because I've only spent most of my life around boys and men's lacrosse. So and like I pointed out earlier, like how loud they cheered for each other. That seems unique, kind of to me. Like I don't hear it the same way, like where it's my ears are ringing on the men's field. Doesn't mean they can't do it. It absolutely means they should do it. But a couple differences for that you've seen that maybe on that side with the women's versus the men's as well. Maybe how things are handled, or you tell me.
So I have my dad helped start high school lacrosse in Utah way back in the day. There's like pictures of me in the car seat on the sideline. Like lacrosse it's part of like my DNA basically at this point. So, and then I have two brothers that have played and a sister who played. Mom coached as well. She went on to coach D3 out in Virginia. It's just been around my whole life. My poor husband didn't know what he was married to. Luckily he's on board. But I think one of the big differences is like our team size almost across the board. You look at like the big NCAA programs and they have a pretty big team. But for the most part, the women's teams are smaller, which I think requires more cohesion. There's not people that if you beef with, you can't avoid them at practice. Like you're going to end up in the same drills as them. You're going to end up working closely with them no matter what. That's something I really try to emphasize is like, even if you don't get along or they're not your favorite people off the field, everybody's had a teammate that's not their favorite, right? We're going to have each other's backs no matter what on the field. So I think that is a big difference. I also think I hate to I don't want to complain about it, but sometimes coaching girls is hard because there is, I feel like, more of like an emotional aspect. They bring their whole selves to the field, which is amazing in so many ways. And sometimes then can add an added challenge as a coach. It requires a lot more intention on my part, which in some ways is great and in some ways is tiring. But I am the same way. I show up as a coach with my whole heart. Every part of me is there. The girls know my personality. They're invited into my house. They're around my family. Some of them are my go-to babysitters. Like I bring my whole self and I actually celebrate when they bring their whole selves. But it does bring, I feel like, watching my brothers and my dad coach, they're able to show up at practice and sometimes leave other things behind. Or coaches make decisions and it doesn't feel as personal. So some of that is mental performance training of like, hey, I need to not take this personally. This is about the game. This isn't about me as a person. But in some ways, that building those personal relationships is what lets you connect on the field and have added benefits. So
I think it's great, and that carries well beyond, right? Those skills, developing those personal skills, well into the workforce, and the sooner you can tune those, the more efficient you'll be later in life. And that's awesome that you're doing that and recognizing that there is a difference and it deserves to be addressed, right? And it's okay.
Yeah, it is okay.
I agree. And you don't have to not be yourself.
No.
You should just totally be yourself, right? It's just sometimes I personally can get a little emotional too, and I need to check. I need to take 5. So, whether it's whatever, right? So I think that's great. And I wish more men's mentors and leaders would recognize that too. Versus always just, you can compartmentalize that and deal with it later.
Right.
So I just don't.
It can be tough.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate that. Recruiting for your club team a little bit. So getting the gals there.
Yeah. So this is something that's unique to Boise State. I didn't fully address that question, but because it is a student-run club, it is different than any program I have been a part of in that we do not make cuts. We can cut and have girls on a travel team. And so then I can have a smaller group I travel with, but everybody who is willing to follow I think they actually call it a constitution for our club team. If they do that, then they're welcome to be there. In some ways, that's really great. It means that anybody who has an interest is able to come in. I've had girls in the past couple of years that have shown up and they're like, I've never played before, but this looks awesome. I want to be a part of it. In some ways, that enthusiasm is amazing. And in some ways, that can be difficult as a college coach trying to compete for a national championship to also have girls that you're like, oh, I need to teach you how to cradle.
Right.
They're learning the same things that like my kids are in my backyard. So that adds an added challenge. It also means that recruiting is tricky because I don't necessarily have anything. I have a great program that I'm like, hey, come be a part of this, but I can't offer like, hey, let's help get you into the school, or hey, I can get you a scholarship, or any of those things. It just is, hey, we practice what we preach. This is what we're about. It's a successful program. These girls are incredible people that would be great to be around. We would love for you to be a part of it.
Yep. And I think anybody that's been at it a while knows that is 70%,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So if you're going to, most players that don't make it,
Yeah.
it's because they don't find that place
Right.
where they belong, right?
That's it.
And they feel supportive, and the other things can be worked out, you know.
Yeah.
So, but you got to have a home, and it
Yes.
sounds like you're doing a great job to build this home
Thank
along
you.
with the players, and the sounds like you're doing a great job of creating these future leaders to help those new people,
Yeah.
right? To help
We're
coach them up
trying.
off the field, being like, hey, we got to hit the wall here,
Yeah.
you know,
Right.
right? We need you to get better so
Right.
that we can all succeed. So,
And that motivation to do it, if it's not there for you, like I need to do it for my teammates. Like they believe in me, they're counting on me. Creating that, hopefully, we even in our board positions, I keep trying to have one that's like a grade younger training up for the next position to make this transition as easy as possible.
Yep, succession planning on that.
Yep.
Absolutely, that's great. Nice job. Um, so with academics, jobs, like so, some of these teammates need to work to go to college, right?
Yeah.
Because it's different. I had to work through school. My wife worked through school. You know, balancing all that
Yeah.
and commitments, and managing the team as far as the players also do. Uh, how do you and your players handle those challenges and still compete at the higher level? Like,
Yeah.
what's the secret sauce to this balance that you've been so successful with so far?
It is a balancing act every season and with different players and their different situations. And even player can have something that works for them one year and the next year they're like, oh, I just can't make this work, whether that's their school schedule or
Right.
work schedule or whatever. So um I as I took over have made some more demands on their time. So like I have mandated we go and we lift. And we have a team lifting session and the girls are expected to be there. There are girls that are like, I have class, I can't make the drive and make it back in time, or I have work and I can't miss that. So we try to just have conversations about like, okay, well, can you get the workout from somebody else? Can you do this on your own? We have a whole expectation protocol set in place where they have to give enough warning. We're like, hey, I won't be there for this reason or this reason. And then within 48 hours, they have to prove that they've made it up with either a picture or like a proof of their workout.
Yeah.
Some of the girls, that's asking a lot with the schedule that they have. We have girls in honors programs, we have girls in the nursing program, which requires I can't think of the word, but they go and they shadow and they do 12-hour shifts and things like that. And so trying to like keep in mind each girl's individual circumstances. I think if I've had some girls that have not been able to make I can't even think specifically of who it was, but they can't make up the time or they can't do whatever. And sometimes it shows on the field where there are girls that will say like, "Hey, I'm going to make this happen no matter what. It's not going to be in the time frame that other people are able to do it, but it's important to me." And then they show up and they're hustling the most at practice, or they're like, "I don't have a ton of free time, but I can practice 10, 15 minutes early and hit the wall. And I'm going to make up or get in extra reps that way." And those are the girls that end up going on to succeed super well. So,
Yeah. And once again, reflects into life, right? That
right.
sometimes 8 hours isn't enough in the workday.
Yes.
You're going to have to, you know, take it home with you or something,
Right.
whatever it may be, right?
Right.
So you've got to put that extra work in if you want to continue to succeed in it. And it's hard.
It is hard.
It's just hard.
And the one of the things I feel like I'm trying to teach them the most at this age that they're in this life situation is I'm trying to model what this should look like for them in a big job environment.
Yeah.
If you can't make it to the trip that you're going on, if you can't, show up for work one day, it's your job to communicate that with your boss. I should not be the one coming after you and saying like, "Hey, we missed you. What happened?"
Right.
If they can communicate up front, there's usually something we can work out. But if you stop communicating, then that's when we're going to start having problems both with your teammates because you've let them down or you haven't been accountable to them. And then with me, that like, hey, I can't start you or I can't play you because you haven't been at practice when
Right.
the next person in line has
Absolutely.
been here doing all of that. So I do think it models really well for real life that we're like teaching this is how you should show up. But just keeping communication open is so undervalued.
Yep. And I love that you have that standard. Like, you might be better, but you haven't earned it.
Right.
And that means something to
Yeah.
all the players
Yeah.
when coaches are able to hold that standard.
Sometimes that's hard.
It's so hard, especially when we're all so competitive
Yes.
in life.
Yeah.
And you're like, I know, but this person showed up, did the
Yeah.
work, is getting better,
And
doing
they see it.
exactly. Yeah.
They've
They've
earned the
earned the
opportunity.
opportunity. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So that's great. The with the new league, I
Yes.
want to talk about maybe growth,
Okay.
right? So, are you staying in the D2 level? How does the new league work? A little, I know details are coming,
Yeah.
but let's talk about short-term goals,
Mhm.
maybe with this change, and then let's do 5.
Okay.
Okay, and kind of tell me what your plan is, or maybe what the team's plan is.
Right. So WCLA is split into 2 divisions. They have Division 1 and Division 2. Within that, there is the Rocky Mountain West Lacrosse League, I think is the whole abbreviation.
Yeah.
RMWLL. So Division 1 and Division 2. That's has covered most of Utah, Montana, Wyoming, Idaho, except for NNU. Goes west over to the Pacific Northwest region. So there's teams split in that. We've had a team we played against Utah Valley 2, 3 years ago, and they made the jump from Division 2 up to Division 1. So
Okay.
there's some movement in there. Um, WCLO doesn't have divisions, so there's
Oh,
no split
yeah.
there.
This is exciting.
It is exciting. So everybody is welcome. And Division 1 and Division 2, you could play each other, but there was like a limit on how many games could count towards your regular season record.
Okay.
So WCLO, you can play whoever you can get games against, which is exciting. And then whoever is the champion is like, that's it. There's no like qualifiers. Hey, this was D2 or anything like
Yeah.
that. So um, my goal for this season is for us to have a competitive season, for us to play these teams that we've seen at nationals in the past couple of years. I would love for us to make a nationals, get a bid, and hopefully make a run at it.
Okay.
It's hard to say because we changed a lot in the past couple of years. I don't know what's happened for those teams. You know, have they grown a lot? Have they been able to pull more people in? I would love to see us finish well. I would also love for us to establish ourselves and have a good reputation. We've done that in the WCLA. Hopefully these teams still have that impression of us, but that they want to come to Boise, that
Yeah.
we host a tournament and they're like, hey, we don't want to miss that one. We want to be there because we want to play Boise State and because they host a good tournament and they're fun to be around. That's, an immediate goal that we hopefully do that this year, but that as our reputation goes in the next couple of years, that hopefully it's something that they're like, hey, how many teams can you fit in this tournament? I would love for us to win a national championship. That's the goal, right?
Absolutely.
Everybody can say
Yeah.
that and everybody wants it. I'm going to do my best to make sure we're working towards that. This year, maybe next year. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. I love there's an old guy reference, but the Thunderdome, which was a Mad Max movie.
Yeah.
Like, just come and let's see what you can do. And
Right.
that team's left standing is
Yes.
the one.
Yeah.
And I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
I just can't tell you how excited I am to watch this and see how well it works.
Yeah.
And because we all talk about the different divisions, and
Right.
this team could beat this one, or D3 or NAIA can
Right.
beat Division Ones. All that is true.
Yeah.
Let's give everybody a chance,
Right.
and let's actually see it, and it helps spread that experience.
Yes.
Those players can kind of see that, yeah, we can, even though I'm out west or whatever, we can go east.
Yeah.
We can compete.
Yes.
They come here, and maybe they get whooped or whatever.
Right.
We spread that wealth around a little
Yes.
more that way versus compartmentalizing and siloing
Yes.
the lacrosse
Yeah,
community.
for sure.
Yeah.
We have had girls, I'm like just starting to get girls that are incoming freshmen that they're like, hey, this girl that's played on my club team has been playing for you for a year or two.
Yeah.
I want to play. She had so many good things to say. I wanted to come and play for your program too. I would love for that to keep happening, for us to continue that reputation. But trickling in it, down into not quite recruiting, but that same where like people get to know like, hey, I've seen your team on Instagram. I've seen your team do this or watched a live stream or any of these things and say, that's something I want to be a part of. I think that would be growth. There's so many different ways you can grow, but that to me is like, oh, let's get some roots down that way. So that would be a continuing goal.
Let's talk about local then. Like, how's it look right now? The relationship. I'm trying hard to showcase more women's teams from high school to youth all the way up. I just think it needs to be done.
It does need to be done.
It just needs to be done. And if I can just get it sparked and then hand it off to someone that's more capable than myself, I'd love to do that.
Yeah.
But either way, they need to be showcased. They need to be talked about and have a platform as well. So how is the women's youth feeder just overall health in this area?
Yeah.
And then how can we help, or what ways can others help to make it better?
Yeah. So I have kids in PBYLL. We have kids that play every spring. We're not year-round lacrosse players yet. I believe in multi-sport athletes. That's something that's really important.
I would say so. I mean, you laid it out right here. It's on paper.
Continue to
blueprint. It's right there.
So my kids play in the spring. I am so grateful for all those coaches that show up. It takes volunteers is what it takes. And in some ways that's hard because sometimes people come in and they're like, oh, like I'm willing to be there. I'm willing to be a coach, but then to not cross takes some fine motor skills. It takes some very specific things that don't always cross over to other sports, or if you don't have experience with it, it's hard to teach the mechanics of how to cradle, how to get a ground ball, how to pass and catch without like a side hitch or anything like that. So I'm grateful for knowledgeable people that are willing to coach. Part of that is that I strongly encourage my players to get involved if they can help with TBYLL, if they can help with, I know Cityside or Timberline is regularly looking for more coaches. So making sure that they hopefully see us give back and then say, oh, I could be a part of that. Or even if it's like, hey, for a small salary, or I can work for, I can help with my high school team. I can go back and teach them some of the things that I'm learning. We try to put on a youth clinic once or twice a year. And I also try to make sure it's on the same day that we have some kind of game going on. So whether that's an inter squad scrimmage or alumni game, that the girls that make the effort to come all the way downtown, sometimes they're coming from Caldwell or further away, or I helped at the Cityside camp this summer. There was a girl there from Wyoming. So if they're making that trip, that like it's worth their time, that they also then get to see a high level game. I also have not let us charge for any of our games, keeping it as accessible as possible. I had these lofty goals going into my first year as head coach that I'm going to make a stop at every high school, and I'm going to make sure that like they know that BSU is an option for them, that there's girls that playing on a club team, this is a perfect fit, that they know that it's available. My intentions were very good and my actions were terrible. I did not make it out to any of those teams. But if there are high school coaches that want to have me around or say like, hey, can you come drop into a practice? I would love to do that. Love to keep spreading. I think we have players that go back and say like, hey, this is an awesome program, or like, come watch me play. Like we played together, come watch me play. I think that's helping. Baby steps. I would love to keep making that jump. I would love for us to be like more cohesive, to continue to work together. I also have been a part of Rock and Armor who is doing our lifting this year, and I have a great relationship with them. We do a class every summer for any women who play collegiate lacrosse. Come and lift with us over the summer. Let's all get together and talk about our experiences and how can we help each other and how can we grow the sport. It feels very cohesive and this great bonding chance. I'm like for sure the oldest lady there. I'm like slow behind all of them. I can put up some weight, but I'm slower than all of them. But let's like build these relationships and follow each other and cheer each other on.
Coach, that's spectacular. It really is, and it's. And I wrote down skills resources when you were talking, and to make improvements, you don't have to know everything.
No.
And if you can just come like you're good at whatever defense,
right?
Let's just talk defense.
Yeah.
Like a couple things with these when you come and volunteer. There's people that can be a head coach, and you just bring in the right resources. You can be a coach that manages, does all the people part, right?
Yeah.
Make sure the players are squared away, manage the team. There's plenty of folks that just don't have all the time
right
to do it all, they can rotate in and help
yes
out and develop these skills or techniques. And I guess what I'm saying is it's okay to be involved and not know everything.
yes
So
yeah
if you're thinking about getting involved at whatever level,
yeah
just do it
right
and we'll find you some help.
yeah
So, and it sounds like you're doing an excellent job of being a resource to
I'm trying
share that
yeah
those resources out, like you're
yeah
connect. So,
and I don't know everything. I've brought on so I had an
yeah,
assistant last year who,
mhm,
unfortunately, her time commitment availability is lower this year. But because we built a relationship last year, she had an old teammate she played with that's coming in this year
yeah,
and played goalie for Team Canada. She's like this incredible
okay.
resource. Um, I
Just
am
someone that
like,
played for Team
yeah,
Canada,
has
whatever.
2 silver medals, no big
Yeah,
deal.
no big
She's
deal.
Cass is awesome. I'm so excited to have her. But I would be drowning if I had to coach goalies. Like my
Right.
lax IQ of the whole field, it's pretty good. My lax IQ of goalies is like scraping the
Uh,
bottom of the barrel.
different people, right? Like
Yes,
goalies in general
yes,
and how they see things and need to do things. And then they're just kind of goofy in a great way.
yes,
So they need a goalie person.
they do. My sister jokes she like missed her calling playing goalie. She played defense and was incredible, but she's like, I should have been a goalie. And I'm like, figure it out. Come coach
You
with
can
me.
still be
Like
one.
you
Yeah.
can still learn
Let's
it
make
all.
some new ones.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. And I am thrilled to have people to share, even though I feel like last year there were lots of times I felt on my own, whether that was like coaching in a tournament by myself or figuring out the stats or
Mhm.
figuring out the league. To now, even though I in some ways am capable, to now have people to share that with and to have I have my other assistant, Grace played at University of Indiana and holds the season or the school record for like most points in a season. Like all
Okay.
these people that was not my strength, but it is their strength and we can
Sure.
work together to hopefully build this program.
So you get just a random person showing up from Team Canada,
Yeah.
Big Ten. Remind me, Hoosiers club over there for women's, or is it sanctioned sport?
No, she played D2.
Okay,
Yeah.
D2
NCAA
leading
athlete. Yeah,
scorer
both of them.
for the Hoosiers, just swinging through town
Yep.
and then popping by to help out.
Yeah.
Uh, it's amazing that you've built a place where people want to be, though,
I sure hope so.
and now you're starting to see those things pay off,
Yeah.
and it's going to be shared with everybody that keeps coming
Yes.
to the program,
Yeah.
and then at the same time trickle out. We'll post your Instagram or contacts for
Yeah.
sure, but let's have them real quick because if people are watching, let's
Yeah.
give them to them a couple times. What is the best way if people want to reach out and talk more to you about resources?
Yeah, probably my email is the best one. So it's Jordan Trejo at boisestate.edu. It's really
Okay.
simple. It's also if you search like Boise State Club Lacrosse,
Hmm.
it'll pop up on that website if that's easier to remember. For sure, email me. And then you can always reach out on the Instagram is Boise State W Lacrosse. That's usually player run, so it might take a minute or a day or two. I
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't say a minute, a day or
Yeah.
two to get to me. But
Okay.
yeah, and the girls that run it are great too. They're great resources. We have quite a few that either then are involved in high schools or things like that. Like they want to be involved as much as I do.
Um, let me ask you this to help move this program along.
Yeah.
What is a couple things that would be great if you could get some different types of resources or something to continue what you're doing?
Yeah.
How can people help with that? Whether it's obviously writing a check would be great,
Yes.
but
That's
what
the
else,
dream,
right?
right?
Like, yes, and
Yes.
what is the and that you could also use there?
Showing up to our games, getting the school to see like, hey, this is a program that
Hmm.
people care about. We post our schedule on our Instagram. We're trying to broadcast our games. We're trying to do all of these things to make sure that it is accessible. And the more buy-in we get from the community, the more that the school will continue to want to support us. Um, I mean, big pipe dream is for us to end up as a varsity program one day.
Absolutely.
Um, Trying to figure out what the best way to try to access that is. I know that the whole college sports world is shifting right now with transfer portals and NIL and the scholarship regulations changing, all of that. So
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what that might look like, but continuing to show like, hey, this is something that the community would take interest in. This is something, I mean, I've been to a women's soccer game and the stands are packed.
Yeah.
And then if we could do that for lacrosse, I think that would be amazing. Getting your daughters involved. I know that at least my daughters, I feel like, are quieter about saying, hey, this is something I want to do than what I have seen I don't have any sons, but from what I've seen boys say, like, hey, I'm playing this sport. My friend or my neighbor is playing this sport. Like, you got to get me gear. My daughters don't talk that way, but saying like, hey, this is really cool. Or like, hey, let's watch a game together. The WLL is starting a full
Yep.
season, which is going to be incredible starting next year. So letting them watch the all-time greats and buying into that, there are these incredible athletes that do these amazing things. And if that can be a shared experience, and then let these girls build up into it, supporting the high school program so that they want to be a part of continuing to grow. There's like no wrong way to continue to support the program. Smaller ways that specifically for Boise State would be we'll probably do a team store. So if you want some swag, that's a great
Okay.
way. We're always looking for team sponsors, whether that's so if you can't financially contribute personally, but like maybe you have a business that you're a part of, or going, I mean, mostly just coming to our games would be great. Getting girls to come to our clinics is an awesome way for us to continue to grow it, and a way for us to fundraise is awesome.
Okay.
That's what comes to mind right now.
No,
I'm
I
sure
think
there's more
that's
somewhere,
great,
but
yeah, and I think starting off with just show up,
yeah,
be present, and then see that experience so that you can go back and share it.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Don't yell at the refs. Just
Yeah,
cheer for us.
that's right.
We want you there.
Yeah. Um, and I guess there's something that maybe people don't understand. Just because you're at BSU
Mhm.
doesn't mean you're getting funding
Oh,
like every other sport. So
yeah.
I think that needs to be cleared up a little here.
Yeah. So my players pay to play. They pay dues. Um, every year we have a set amount that we ask them to pay, and we do that, and we say hopefully we can fundraise enough that we're not going to have to add on at the end.
Mhm.
Um, we've tried really hard to do that. We do get some support from the school. Some of that is being able to practice in the indoor facility, which is huge. As a player at BYU, we were not technically affiliated with the school. I practiced in like parking lots. We would like shovel
Yeah.
whatever we had to do to make it happen, right? Um, I'm thrilled that my girls don't have to do that, but there's also a reality of we have to travel. Nationals
Yeah.
last year, the past 2 years were in Kansas. This year it's in Virginia. Flights for 25 plus girls, that's expensive. And
Yeah.
so we fundraise. The girls do community service events. They scan tickets for football games. They do all these things trying to earn money, and then they pay out of their own pockets to be able to be a part of the program.
Yeah. Yeah. So I just want, because I knew that. I
Yeah.
don't know if everybody else knows that.
No.
And the name carries weight, right? Boise
Yeah.
State. And I think it carries weight for attention and
Mhm.
pride.
Yeah.
But there's also this little part where it doesn't necessarily mean
Yeah.
rolling in the cash.
No, I
So
wish.
yeah, yeah. So of course, so I want to make sure that folks knew that. And then other ways of supporting, obviously, like if the team is willing to help, like you
Mhm.
said. So
Yeah.
reach out.
Let
They'll
us know.
come do things.
Yeah.
Hopefully at a couple dollars for their time, but
Right.
or if you just need help,
Mhm.
I would assume everybody show
Yeah.
up. So let's talk superstitions. I've been doing this lately with everybody. I know
Yeah.
it's kind of a shift, but
That's right.
game day superstitions or game week.
Yeah.
I've had a few. I told a story a while back where my son, young, we burned a pair of socks because he lost and he wore the wrong socks.
Can't ever wear them
Well,
again.
those things are gone.
Yeah.
So, how about yourself?
As a player, my superstitions were a little bit out of control. I
Okay.
had like one of 3 pairs of socks I could wear for a track meet. Same kind of
Okay.
thing. I used one lacrosse season. I think I used the same hair ties the entire season, and I
That's fine.
forgot them because I went from a track meet to my last lacrosse game and we lost. So I mean, maybe they weren't too out there. As a coach, I've scaled back a little bit. I have things that I like that keep me in the right headspace. So as a player, as a coach, I'm a big believer in you look good, you play good.
Sure.
Or you look good, you coach good, hopefully. So making sure that like I have taken care of myself that day, that I have this bracelet my daughter made me that I try to wear. I have orange and blue earrings, things like that that like make me it feels silly, but they get me in game mode of like, okay, this is time. Let's like start feeling it in our body that like it's time to coach. I have some pens that I only use that they stay in my lacrosse bag all the time to take stats,
Okay.
and I have to switch colors at halftime. Part of that is like it helps my stats. Like, oh, this
Yeah.
player did great in the
Yep.
first
Nope.
half, not great in the
Yep.
second half, but also don't mess with my pens.
That's fair. Yeah, I
um,
get that.
I'm trying to think. I had a pair of shoes that I wore for every game last year, even in the snow. We play in like such differing temperatures that like
Yeah.
having a specific outfit or anything like that doesn't quite work because it's wild.
Lacrosse is the coldest sports season.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, people think being on the ice is cold. Being a parent, you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah,
especially here in the Northwest.
What? It's so there's no like clothes that are super particular. I do almost always have, if we travel, not for home games, but if we travel, I have a bag of Trader Joe's licorice in my bag.
Oh, what flavor?
The strawberry ones. They're like Australian licorice. Okay. Highly recommend them.
All right.
I don't know that they contribute to us winning, but it's a great treat.
Keeps coach from losing her mind, so maybe it does.
Yeah.
And then, what about the team? They have like let's talk 24 hours or something, or a game week. Let's talk a little bit about what's going on there and getting ready for a game.
No, if this team will have one, there were girls that like wanted to listen to a certain playlist and like had the music going a certain way. We like took the speaker with us all the way to Kansas, even though it had to count as somebody's bag. Like it was this craziness. They have one drill that they really like to do that if we miss it in pregame, they're really mad at me. So it's called Hungry Hippos, which I don't, but if we miss Hungry Hippos, it's a big deal. So
we're not going to miss it.
No, we're going to. I don't know if it's nostalgic. I don't know what they love about it, but who am I to argue? If it gets them in the right headspace, we'll do it.
Absolutely. If you could set up a dream match, just like the people the team that you would, let's do two.
Okay.
One would be like ego based.
Okay.
Just for fun.
Yeah.
Because competitive.
Yeah.
And the other one would be for sure like the dream matchup. Like, hey, could we? So the first one is I'd love to see if we could kick these guys' butts.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Whether we're there or not, but or maybe you want to play them because you want to kick their butt.
Yeah.
They're rivals, or you just like, I just don't like these people.
I'm gonna say that I would love a rematch of our Montana State game from last year. That loss and the timing of that loss was gutting. And I like the other coaches there and I get along great and we have this awesome relationship, but also like I'm still a little mad.
That's fine.
Still a little hurt about it. I partially for personal reasons, I would love to go play UVA's club team. I would love to get back home, but also to play like kind of one of those East Coast teams that has if girls leave the NCAA program, they can play on the club team. So there's like kind of this pride that comes with it of like they have more resources. So like, could we hack it against them? I'm going to add a sneaky third one.
Let's do it.
Because I've been thinking about this. I would love to somehow time travel and have my team that plays third at nationals that I played on. We only had 13 girls on our team that year. It was like, we did not have a lot of numbers, but we were fighters to play my team that I'm coaching now. I don't know if I could like also coach and play. I don't know how that works logistically. It doesn't matter because it's fake, but
multiverse here that you're talking about. So
a dream.
Okay. How do you think?
I think one, I would have to like pull myself in as a player to like pull myself into check a little bit. I think we might edge them out, which means that I have work to do as a coach. Like there's two sides to that, right? But yeah, I don't know.
I think that's great. I love it.
Yeah.
And I've always taken pride in being like the grit team, ones without, because it's funny what you need versus what you think you need.
Yes.
And how success can happen regardless, right?
It can look
and sort of way. I've always loved being the bad news bears with the teams I've been a part with and rolling into town and whooping up on the fancy folks or the cool kids, as I've always called them. And then like getting back on whatever bus that we probably fixed on the way. Yeah. And then heading on out.
Yeah.
And those games build an incredible character.
Yeah, they do.
That gets passed down or it creates like legendary stories of sorts, right? Like you wouldn't believe it. 4 years ago, the bus broke down. We were like 4 hours away.
Yeah.
And, it represented like this, like how we didn't have to show up to this giant stadium.
Right.
They got it all. And still we whooped them.
Yep.
Right.
And it didn't matter because we were the better team.
Matter, right. And it doesn't matter. Yeah. It's just the effort and who you're playing for and with that truly makes a difference. Coach, I want to make sure we get everything covered for you. What else can we do to help or any other topics you want to talk about that we can touch on? Anything anything in general?
Yeah, I think I am doing everything I can, while also maintaining my mental health and my family's health to like
Sure.
continue to grow the sport. So anybody who's willing to be a part of that, anyone who's willing to come in and support these teams, whether that's a club team, whether it's a rec league, whether it's the high school teams, I think would be huge. I think supporting refs if you want to learn. My mom started coaching lacrosse. She had never seen a game before.
Mhm.
And the best thing that she did to figure out what the rules were to be a ref. So she got certified as a ref and was like, "Oh my gosh, this all makes so much more sense." So learning the rules. So even
Yeah.
if I obviously don't want people yelling from the sidelines, but if you're going to yell from the sideline, hopefully then you know what you're
Be
talking about.
correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you're going to be loud, you better be right. Um, so whether that's, doing a ref training, whether that's watching YouTube videos, whether that's I need to get with the refs and say like, "Hey, let's put on a rules clinic." Like,
Yep.
I'm happy to do that. Christy and I am sure we could figure that out. Um, show up.
Show up. And then back to the like, let's say someone they don't want to be a ref, but you need help putting the clinic together.
Right.
Let's help put the clinic together,
Yeah.
right? Let's put get on the calendar, help me do these
Help me
things.
figure out the admin aspect of it
Right.
so I can
Yeah.
put my energy towards,
Right.
what my strength is. If your strength is organizing, that'd be awesome. Um, I am hoping I've talked to a couple of my alumni girls about hopefully getting, I know the boys team has this awesome alumni association that helps with that. So helps them with all sorts of
Mhm.
things. Their alumni weekend looks awesome. And I said, I want to do something like that. Um, I would love to get something like that started. If there's people that, whether it's old players or people that are just enlisted in the area and say like, "Hey, I could help with that." I would love to start something like that.
Okay.
Um, yeah, but showing up if you are willing to donate, if you're willing to be at our games and cheer people on, I think
Okay.
we'll take it all.
Any fall games that they can start with?
Yeah, so we are traveling down to Utah for most of our fall games. We are gonna do We're still waiting on the fields to be like officially scheduled, but
Hmm.
November 15th is going to be a clinic, hopefully in the morning, and then, or maybe midday, depending on what field we're on. And then we're going to do our alumni game that day. We are planning on hosting a tournament in the spring in March. We do have, we're also planning an inter squad scrimmage, but the logistics of that are still a little hazy.
Okay.
So unfortunately, I wish I
Yeah.
had more to share on that one, but
Okay. And then season starts February for the
Mhm.
most part. Plenty of opportunity to start sticking toes in the water
Yeah,
to participate and help
for sure.
and move out, and then figure out what's going on. And not only Boise State, I guarantee you will find a place for people
Yeah.
to be throughout the valley for help. We'll get all that up. Any
Yeah.
other leagues or whatever you want us to help put up for contacts, we'll make sure to do that for you.
Okay.
And I can't say how great this has been to have
Yeah.
your perspective and get to know the women's team better.
Yeah.
And I thank you for making time in your busy schedule to
Yeah.
talk with us.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Absolutely. We'll see you soon.
Yeah.